And he tried, he was game, but every time he threw one or two, Inoue came back with 4s and 5s and 6s.
Yeah, credit goes to Picasso for putting a great show on. He pushed Inoue back at times, but Inoue was just too good. I mean, he was too classy, he was sharp, them body shots, head shots, I mean, he was just beating him to every punch.
Almost like a body stab, isn't it? He really puts a lot of weight into those body shots.
Great finisher. I think he's the best finisher in boxing. He's Joe Louis, he's Mike Tyson, he's Jack Dempsey. 3 of the greatest finishers in the history of the sport. He's all of them.
He's the best fighter. In my opinion, I'm nobody, but I think he's the best fighter.
Michael,
he's 122 now, right?
He's 122. He'd be going to 135.
Why don't they fight 132, something like that? Both of them, yeah.
Naoya Inoue didn't just beat Alan Picasso. He sent shockwaves through the entire boxing world and made the whole division pay attention. From the opening bell, it was clear this wasn't competitive. It was a display of elite dominance, where speed, timing, and killer instinct separated a true pound-for-pound monster from a talented challenger. Picasso searched for answers, but Inoue was always steps ahead, ripping the body, firing brutal combinations, and breaking him down with frightening precision. There was no momentum swing, no breathing space, just non-stop pressure from a fighter operating on a completely different level. When it ended, fighters and analysts across divisions called it a masterclass and a warning. Because at 122 pounds, Inoue isn't just the best. He's the problem no one knows how to solve.
21.5 pounds for the undisputed world champion. 121.1 pounds for the undefeated challenger, David Picasso. Here they are, face to face, 24 hours from stepping into the ring. Challenger and champion both undefeated, David Picasso. Naoya, the master, Inoue.
Even with the scorecards completely favoring Naoya Inoue, former world champion Amir Khan made sure Alan Picasso got his respect. Khan set it straight, stepping in with a pound-for-pound monster like Inoue takes real courage. And Picasso proved that by surviving 12 punishing rounds under non-stop elite pressure. That's not luck, that's heart, toughness, and mental strength. And Khan stressed that this kind of resilience deserves recognition. Yes, Inoue's class and control were undeniable, but Picasso showed grit and the willingness to test himself against the best. And according to Khan, that's what keeps boxing raw and real, because dominance gets headlines, but fighters who refuse to quit give the sport its soul.
Right, he was game, but every time he threw one or two, Inoue came back with 4s and 5s and 6s.
Yeah, credit goes to Picasso for putting a great show on. Wow, did you hear that noise? I mean, he has power, he has speed, movement, you name it. But I just feel that Picasso just fell short this time. He did a great job though. Honestly, when you look at the fight, he did not give up. Every minute of the fight, he was still there in front of him.
Yeah, you wonder if Picasso, if that's any other super bantamweight not named Inoue, you wonder if Picasso maybe would have got his hand raised, because he did look really good in there.
Yeah,
Darren.
And there was moments you felt he was trying to grow into the contest, but it was just the class and the level of Inoue that just stopped his man building any momentum. But against anyone else, you feel it could have been a real hard night's work. I don't want to discredit anything that Picasso's done there. He tried, he dared to be great. He was just in there with an elite level fighter. Look, it just didn't have the one punch power, because he's delivered a nice left hook there. And look, again, I said it with Nakatani, you're always learning still with 31 bouts under your in your career, you're still having to learn. And there's a couple of moments there where he took a couple of silly shots.
Veteran boxing voice Teddy Atlas has gone on record saying he ranks Naoya Inoue as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And this isn't recent hype or a hot take. Atlas reminded everyone that he called Inoue's greatness years ago, praising his defense, balance, and discipline long before the spotlight followed. To him, this rise was inevitable, not sudden. And he even compared Inoue's path to Manny Pacquiao, a comparison reserved for rare fighters. Atlas also kept it real, warning that moving up in weight brings new limits and tougher tests for every boxer. The message is simple. Inoue has all-time greatness written all over him, but how he handles the next challenges will decide just how legendary his run becomes.
Proud of the fact that I put Inoue on my pound-for-pound list, I don't know, 3 years ago. Whatever it was, I don't even know how long.
That's true.
And no one...
You've been on him before I even knew who he was.
Ken, no one had him anywhere near it. They basically barely knew who he was, as you just touched on. And obviously he dominated Fulton, or at least put it this way. He established control right from the start. He made Fulton's a defensive fighter, a good counterpuncher. He made him concentrate more on defense and surviving than Fulton really wanted to early. He set the course of the fight, the mentality of the fight, the theme of the fight, right from the start. Inoue just never let Fulton really get anything started, or as I said, any rhythm. He used his jab, again, similar to Crawford. The jab was very important for Inoue and for Fulton. Very important. Most important weapon of the night. Inoue used his jab to stabilize Fulton on the outside. Then he plays good body shots to take some of his legs away. He was placing beautiful body shots. He stepped out of range very effectively, controlling distance. He was very good defensively. You know, everyone talked about Fulton's defense. Inoue's defense. Yeah, he's a great offensive fighter.
Ryan Garcia has poured gasoline on the conversation by saying he believes Naoya Inoue has what it takes to become a multi-weight world champion. And then he took it even further by showing interest in a future fight. That wasn't casual talk, that was respect, and it instantly grabbed attention across the boxing world. When elite fighters start mentioning names and hinting at crossing paths, it's a clear sign something serious is happening. This isn't fantasy matchmaking anymore, it's a real debate, because Inoue moving through divisions is starting to feel inevitable. And when stars from different lanes begin circling you, it usually means you're becoming too big to ignore.
Inoue can become a multiple weight world champion. So I'm thinking, what if one day we fight at 140? I'm talking about future, and we do it in Japan. It'll be huge. Huge. Mark my words, if it somehow plays out that way, I think that fight will be one of the biggest pay-per-views of all time.
Former world champion Sean Porter has thrown massive praise behind Naoya Inoue, saying he sees real signs that Inoue could become the next Manny Pacquiao, a comparison that carries serious weight in boxing. Porter pointed to Inoue's explosive dominance, clean finishes, and non-stop action as the exact kind of style that hooks American fans instantly. According to Porter, Inoue isn't just winning fights, he's entertaining. And that's the difference between a great champion and a global superstar. This proves Inoue's impact is no longer limited to Japan. His name is spreading fast, the conversations are growing louder. And if he keeps performing like this, the US audience won't just notice him, they'll be fully locked in.
Say the monster is multi-dimensional.
Yeah, of course.
But have you seen him legitimately be multi-dimensional?
Yeah.
From a standpoint of being able, obviously we know he can punch.
Yeah.
We've seen him get to the body, but
He's a box people
I really haven't seen him stay on the outside and counter punch.
Do you think that's what he's gonna have to do against Fulton now?
It's not the point. The point is you just call him the #1 fighter on the planet.
Pound.
But you gotta be able to do it all.
Yeah.
Who do you fight?
After rolling past Alan Picasso by dominant unanimous decision, Naoya Inoue didn't avoid the future talk, and the boxing world immediately locked onto one explosive idea: an all-Japanese super fight with Junto Nakatani. With both men scoring statement wins on the same Riyadh card, fans and promoters are already eyeing 2026, with growing whispers of the Tokyo Dome as the stage for what could be the biggest night in Japanese boxing history. Inoue himself poured fuel on the fire, hinting that something special is coming after acknowledging both fighters look sharp, and that single comment sent shockwaves through the division. This no longer feels like hype or fantasy matchmaking. It feels inevitable, because if this fight happens, it won't just define the super bantamweight division. It will put Japanese boxing at the absolute center of the global spotlight.
Japan, it is huge. I mean, this is like probably billboards all over the place type of fight, huge in Japan. So, you know, I really, if it's in the conversation, could you see any other fight that Inoue could do that really could be this big? He could go up to featherweight and fight for the world featherweight championship. I don't know if it would be as big as this. Inoue Nakatani right now is probably the biggest fight for both guys for several reasons, and it would be huge.
Naoya Inoue, known across the sport as a monster, doesn't just beat opponents. He intimidates them before the first punch is even thrown, thanks to a terrifying mix of speed, raw power, and razor-sharp technique that few fighters on the planet can handle. Boxers around the world understand that stepping in with Inoue isn't just a physical challenge, it's a mental war, because his non-stop pressure, flawless timing, and brutal precision break confidence as fast as they break bodies. Against him, there's no room to breathe, no time to think, and no easy rounds, just constant danger coming from every angle. That psychological weight is what separates Inoue from the rest, because by the time fighters realize what they're up against, the damage is already done.
Japan, Inoue. So when you see, he got the victory over Cool Boy Steph. Cool Boy Steph, he's not a heavy puncher, good boxer. But far as, you know, Inoue, it was a Filipino fighter he had fought twice, Donaire. So Donaire was giving him fits in the first fight. And if I'm not mistaken, Donaire was somewhere close to 40 or 40 years old when he fought him the first time. Whereas, and he was in his 20s. So he should have knocked him out in the first fight, fighting a guy, you know, like I said before, you know, at that age. What I need Inoue to do is, I need him to come fight in the U.S., random blood and urine testing. I think he's a hell of a fighter. A hell of a fighter. I won't take nothing away from him. Hell of a fighter. And I like him because I see he take a lot of my...
His power isn't wild or reckless. It's calculated and surgical. And that's what makes his knockouts so devastating to watch, because every shot is placed with intent and bad intentions. Add to that a reputation for never taking a step back, never giving opponents a moment to breathe, and always pressing forward. And you get a fighter who feels overwhelming the second the bell rings. This is what makes him such a terrifying presence in the ring, not just the damage he inflicts, but the certainty that he's coming for you from start to finish with no fear, no hesitation, and no escape.
Use that to set something up to get a guy going. He only really lets his hands go if his opponents are hurt. That's just who he is. I actually appreciate that about him. You know, it does a few things. One, it keeps him safe because it's basically a defense mechanism. If I'm not wild and loose, you can't really counter me, or I just won't slip up and do something stupid. So there's not a whole lot that I'm giving you, basically, as an opponent. Not a lot that I'm giving you. But also, it preserves energy. And he can preserve energy. I mean, the guys at that weight, you know, they're a whole lot smaller, so they can definitely preserve energy. But when you're throwing those single shots like he does, it preserves energy. So he's still fresh in the championship rounds, which is quite intelligent.
The clash between Naoya Inoue and Alan Picasso was billed as one of the biggest super bantamweight fights of the year. And when two unbeaten fighters finally met at the Muhammad Abdu Arena, the fight followed the script but still delivered drama. From the opening bell, Inoue took complete control, firing sharp combinations, cutting angles with ease, and applying relentless pressure that instantly forced Picasso into survival mode. Round after round, Inoue set the pace, landed first, and ripped the body with ruthless consistency, draining Picasso's energy and confidence in real time. Picasso showed heart, but the gap in timing, accuracy, and ring control was undeniable, and the wide scorecards of 120 to 108, 119 to 109, and 117 to 111 said it all. This wasn't just a win, it was another reminder that when Inoue steps into the ring, even undefeated challengers are dragged into his world and forced to fight on his terms for every brutal second.
The tactical look for this fight, when I saw the two men get into the ring, the first thing that I noticed straight away was Picasso was carrying an incredibly high guard, defensively keeping his gloves very, very high, trying to protect his chin. And one thing I'll say in general about Picasso in this fight is that his defensive awareness was very, very impressive. He very rarely dropped his hands after he threw a shot. His discipline was incredibly good. But the problem with that is that sometimes it leaves a lack of room for creativity with fighters. Yes, it's important to be defensively disciplined, but if you continue to give the same look over and over again, you're never ever going to beat a guy like Inoue. The first thing I said at the beginning of my live about this guy was I looked at him and I went, his elbows are incredibly flared. You know, he had the high guard, but his elbows was very, very far forwards, which instantly made me think he's giving the body to Inoue. He's offering it to him. Now that can sometimes be done because it's to create counter-punching opportunities, but in this instance, I think it was just that he was so concerned about protecting his head.
Naoya Inoue spent all 12 rounds dismantling Alan Picasso with savage, perfectly timed body shots that quietly sucked the fight out of him. These weren't flashy knockout attempts. They were cold, deliberate punches designed to drain energy, destroy rhythm, and break confidence. And they worked exactly as planned. As the fight went on, Picasso stopped pushing forward, tightened up defensively, and lost control of the pace. By the middle rounds, his stance narrowed, his movement slowed, and his counters faded. Clear signs the damage was adding up. This was elite domination at its finest, patient, calculated, and brutal. The kind where the crowd may not notice every shot, but by the end, the challenger is exhausted, broken down, and completely outclassed.
The body was there all night for Inoue, and Inoue took it. He took the invitation, and he constantly stabbed to the body of Picasso. And in fact, I'd say that this fight kind of was a story of the body shots in many ways. Picasso, like Inoue, had most of his success to the body. The left hook in particular was a money shot for Picasso. But the difference between these two men was so obvious to see when they were standing in the pocket and they were exchanging left hooks in particular to the body. The impact of Inoue's shots was totally different from Picasso's. It was like Picasso had cushions, pillows inside his gloves, and Inoue had a bloody egg weight. It was damaging, it was vicious, and Picasso simply couldn't hang in the pocket for long periods of time with Inoue. I mentioned the lead hand of Inoue there to the body, but the lead hand of Inoue in general in this fight was incredible to see. I mean, the sharpness, the speed on it, the different levels that he throws it from, it's unbelievably unpredictable and difficult to read as a shot.
Eddie Hearn has stirred controversy by calling Naoya Inoue a disappointment to Japan, a statement that instantly raised eyebrows across the boxing world. At a time when Inoue is being praised globally as a pound-for-pound force and one of the most dominant champions in the sport, Hearn's take feels completely out of step with reality. Whether it was meant to provoke attention or spark debate, the comment stands alone against overwhelming respect from fighters, analysts, and fans, and every dominant performance from Inoue only makes that criticism harder to justify.
Gutted, devastated, disappointing for boxing, disappointing for Japan. Being honest with you, it's just a horrific mismatch. It's hard to say Inoue's ducking Akhmadaliev, but he actually is. I'm telling you now, Inoue will not fight Akhmadaliev at any point. I bet you he doesn't fight in September or December Akhmadaliev, even though he's been ordered to do it. And I bet he vacates the belt as well. 4 fight fans in Japan, 4 fight fans around the world. The only fight that is competitive at 122 is Akhmadaliev.
Eddie Hearn has lit a firestorm by labeling Naoya Inoue a disappointment to Japan, a comment that instantly shocked fans and insiders across the boxing world. At a moment when Inoue is being celebrated globally as a pound-for-pound menace and one of the most ruthless champions in the sport, Hearn's take feels wildly disconnected from what's happening inside the ring. Whether it was said to grab headlines or stir controversy, the statement stands completely isolated against the overwhelming respect Inoue earns from fighters, analysts, and fans alike. And with every dominant performance he delivers, that criticism looks less like insight and more like noise.
Yeah, I'll tell you something, Inoue against MJ is one of the best fights in boxing. And I have to respect Inoue for taking it because the people around him didn't want to take that fight. And I kind of feel like I goaded them enough to take it. And I'm very pleased they took it because I see it as a 50-50 fight. 2 best fighters in the division, the best fight in the division. And we're looking forward to being in Japan.
Naoya Inoue made it clear that even a dominant unanimous decision wasn't enough to satisfy him, admitting after the fight that his performance didn't meet his own sky-high standards. Inoue revealed that a demanding 2025 schedule has taken a toll on his body, and while he completely controlled the fight from start to finish, fatigue affected his sharpness and execution in moments where he expects more from himself. That honesty is what separates him from everyone else, because most fighters celebrate the win, but in no way critiques it. He acknowledged the victory, owned the flaws, and promised to rest, reset, and return stronger, sending a clear warning to the division that if this was him tired and still dominant, a fully refreshed Inoue could be something even more dangerous next time out.
Magazine, congratulations on the victory. You mentioned during your post-fight interview that you were a bit tired. Is that down to the 4 fights a year schedule? Is that the reason why you're tired?
リングマガジンからです。試合の直後のインタビューでちょっと疲れたとおっしゃってましたけれども、それは4つ試合をこなしたそういうスケジュールのためにお疲れになってるんでしょうか。
まあそれも含めて今日の試合の内容も含め終わってまあちょっとどっと疲れたなという感想です。
Yes, that's one of the reasons. But after tonight's performance, when I finished the fight,
did Naoya Inoue prove once again that he's still a true pound-for-pound elite? Or was this just another dominant but predictable night at the office? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Much love from Fighters Arena Pro. And don't forget to subscribe to Fighters Arena Pro for the latest boxing news, breakdowns, and real fight talk.